Period of suppressed nationalism 1910 to 1919. The establishment of American rule was a challenge to Filipino nationalism and independence. As the Americans sailed in to rule the islands, the Filipinos continued their fight against the Americans, which President McKinley's instruction to Taft Commission was, no law shall be passed abridging the freedom of speech or the press or of the right of the people to peacefully assemble and petition the government for a redress of grievance. However, the Taft Commission passed laws oppressing basic rights for the safety of the sovereignty of the United States in the Philippines. Label law. Article 353 of the Revised Penal Code defines label as a public and malicious imputance of a crime or a vice of defect, real or imaginary, or any act, omission, condition, status, circumstance training to cause the dishonor, disgrace, or contempt of a natural juridical person or to blacken the memory of one who is dead. Label is also a criminal offense in About Act number 277 and RPC. A label law can be a legitimate means of redress for the people the media have aggrieved and can be encouraged greater media responsibility, but the present label law with its antecedents in both the Spanish and U.S. colonial periods was primarily used to prevent criticism and both Spanish and U.S. colonial periods was primarily used to prevent criticism of colonial regimes and to curb Filipino demands for independence. Thus been in the RPC despite its call for its discriminalization from journalists, free expression, media advocacy groups, liberal criminals, mandates, avis de rapina in English, or birds of prey. El Renacimiento. It is a national daily newspaper during the early years of American occupation in the Philippines, founded by the Filipino journalist patriot Martin Ocampo. In 1908, the paper faced a label case filed by then Secretary of Interior Dean and he is an American zoologist, public official, and authority of the Philippines, born at Thetford, Vermont, and educated at the University of Michigan. From 1899 to 1901, he was a member of the United States Philippine Commission. He served as a Secretary of the Interior for the insular government of the Philippine Islands until 1913. In 1910, he founded the Philippine General Hospital, which has become the hospital for the poor and the sick. The Eves de Rapena editorial is an editorial by Fidel E. Reyes, released in the 30th of October 1908. The Eves de Rapena editorial, an editorial Fidel Reyes in October 38, was famous editorial Philippines printed media history. A brutal accusation against D.C. although he is not named, talk of a man who prayed his enemy in a similar manner an ego, vulture, or vampire would do. Worcester immediately felt that he was the one being alluded by the attacks mentioned in the editorial, that he is commonly exploiting certain parts of the Philippines, particularly Benguet and Mindanao. Warned against Worcester's pursues real estate business, as well as against his predatory watch undercover the scientific inquiry over the island natural resources that had the aim of awarding them for exploitation of the highest foreign bidders. For the said editorial, which was published in October 30, 1908, Fidel Reyes was arrested together with Chidoro Calao. For the said editorial, which was published, the paper's director and editorial manager, and Martin Ocampo, the paper's publisher. Also, the Sedition Law of 1909 end of insurrection. This law was enacted on November 4, 1901 with the intent of forbidding Filipinos from advocating of separation from the United States or for the independence, even it which means that will be used for peaceful. It was prohibited, even was punishable by death or imprisonment. It was passed by the Second Philippine Commission, also known as the Taft Commissions, because it was led by William Howard Taft. This commission was started by U.S. President William McKinley and functioned as a bicameral legislator until 1916 when the Jones Act created an elected legislator. They labeled sedition as being anything that was in the spirit hated or enmity against the American people. Even things such as display Philippine flag, singing the national anthem, and plays that advocate independence were banned. That's all. Thank you.